The ghost of John F. Kennedy comforts us with the secret murder at the heart of the American dream. He forces on the appalling questions of what is our Constitution made, what is our citizenship, and more, our lives worth? What is the future of a democracy where a president can be assassinated under conspicuously suspicious circumstances, while, while the machinery of legal action scarcely trembles? How many political murders disguised as heart attacks, cancer, suicides, airplane and car crashes, drug overdoses will occur before they are exposed for what they are? Treason doth never prosper, wrote an English poet. What's the reason? For if it prospers, none dare call it treason. The generals who sent Dreyfus to Devil Island were among the most honorable men in France. The men who killed Caesar were among the most honorable men in Rome. And the men who killed Kennedy, no doubt, were honorable men. I believe we have reached a time in our country similar to what life must have been like under Hitler in the 30s. Except we don't realize it because fascism is in our country. Takes the benign disguise of liberal democracy. There won't be such familiar signs as swastikas. We won't build Dachaus and Auschwitzes. We weren't going to wake up one morning and suddenly found ourselves in green uniforms goose stepping off to work. Fascism will come, Hugh Long once said. In the name of anti-fascism, it will come in the name of our security. They call it national security. It will come with the mass media manipulating and clever concentrations camp of the mind. The superstate will provide your tranquility about the truth. The superstate will make you believe you are living in the best possible of all the worlds. And in order to do so, will rewrite history as it sees fit. George Always, Ministry of the Truth, warned us. Who controls the past controls the future. The American people yet to see the Zapruder film. Why the American people have yet to see the real photographs and X-rays of the autopsy? Why? There are hundreds of documents that could help prove this conspiracy. Why have they been withheld or burned by the government? Each time my office or you, the people, have asked those questions, demanded crucial evidence. The answer from on high has been national security. What kind of national security do we have? We have been robbed for our leaders. Who determines our national security? What national security permits the removal of fundamental powers from the hands of the American people and validates the ascendancy of invisible government in the United States? That kind of national security, gentlemen of the jury, is when it smells like it, feels like it, and looks like it, you call it what it is. Fascism. I submit to you what have took place of November 22, 1963. What could that its most directly tragic result was a reversal President Kennedy commitment to withdraw from Vietnam. War is the biggest business in America, worth 80 billion a year. The president was murdered by a conspiracy planned in advance at the highest levels of United States government and carried out by a fanatical and disciplined cold warriors in the Pentagon and CIA's covert operations apparatus. Among they clay show here before us, it was a public execution and it was made covered up like minded individuals in the Dallas Police Department, the Secret Services, the FBI, and the White House. And they weigh up to and including J. Edgar Hoover and Lyndon Johnson, who I'm considered accomplices of the fact. There, there is a very simple way to determine if I am being paranoid here. Let's ask the two men who have profited the most the assassination of former President Lyndon Baines Johnson and your new President Richard Nixon to release 51 CIA documents pertaining to Lee Oswald and Jack Ruby, or the secret CIA memo on Oswald's activities in Russia that was being destroyed while being photocopied. All these documents are yours, the people's property. You pay for it because the government consider you children who might be too disturbed to face this reality because you might lynch those involved. You cannot see these documents for another 75 years. I'm in my 40s, so I shuffled of this mortal coil by then. But I tell my son, he needs to stay fit because in one morning in September of 2038, he can walk in the National Archives and find out what CIA and FBI news. They might even push it back in. It might become a generational affair with questions passed down from father to son, mother to daughter, in the manner of the ancient runic parts. Someday, somewhere, someone might find out the damned truth. Or we fight just build ourselves a new government like the Declaration of Independence says we should do when with the old one ain't working, maybe little further. An American naturalist wrote, a patriot must always be ready to defend his country against the government. Well, I hate to be in your shoes today. You have a lot to think about. Going back to when we were children, I think most of us in this courtroom took that justice came into being automatically. That virtue was its own reward. That good will triumph over the evil. But the frontier is where a man faces a fact. Individual humans being have to create justice, and it's not easy because truth often presents a threat to power, and we have to fight power. Often, it's a great risk to our lives. The people want to know the truth because they want their country back, because it belongs to us, the people, as long as the people got the guts to fight for what they believe in. The truth is the most important value we have because is the truth does not endure. Is the government murders truth if you cannot respect the hearts of the people when this is no longer the country in which we are well born in, and it is not the country I want to die in. And this was never more true than for John F. Kennedy was murdered was probably the most terrible moment in the history of our country. You, the people, you, the jury of the system, is sitting in judgment clause shows representing the hope of humanity against the government power and discarding our duty in bringing the first conviction in this house of cards against Clay Shaw. Ask not what your country can to do for you, but what you can do for your country. Do not forget for your young president who forfeited his life. Show the world this is still a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Nothing as long as you live will ever be more important. It's up to you.